all of these races I get to do with my father, so it ends up being a family event. It's tremendous. So I'm running both a vintage car in Group 6, and for the first time I get a chance to run my Riley & Scott Trans Am car with the pros in Trans Am as opposed to running it with Group 10 in vintage. It's a new challenge for me. Bill Devin built both turnkey cars called the Devin SS, and then he built a series of bodies that ended up in specials, either with small four-cylinder engines, so Devin Triumphs. You saw there was a Devin Volkswagen here, a Devin Porsche here, and then a whole series of cars that end up with Devin V8s. So this is an original Devin body on an MGA chassis with obviously some reinforcements, and then with a small block Chevy. So that's a car that's been in our family since actually before I was born. It's on iteration number 7, but it's a car that my father bought. We raced in SCCA solo events back when I was a kid. When I turned 16, I was able to race with him in the same car because it's one car on the track at a time. And the car sat for 25 years. We then restored it and got it ready to go vintage racing, and we've been doing that together as a family since 2015. Oh, you know, it was fantastic, and we actually had the opportunity on the vintage side. I have another Devin, and we ran both of the Devins in Group 4 for a couple of years, so racing with each other it's tremendous, and it's all of these races I get to do with my father, so it ends up being a family event. It's tremendous. Yeah, so this is a 1992 Riley & Scott Mustang body Trans Am car. It's Riley & Scott number 11, so it's their Gen 1 car, and it's serial number 11. It was run by Ron Fellows for a couple of years between 92 and 94 successfully, and so I'm now the caretaker of it, if you will, for the last 5 years, and trying to run both of the cars. It just got to a point where, hey, maybe if you're gonna measure yourself against the best, and that's running with the pros on the TA side. Compared to this, it's really quite straightforward. It does all things well. It doesn't have any of the what they refer to as the nanny stuff. So there's no traction control, there's no anti-lock brakes, but it's got power steering. The brakes really work well. It turns, it stops. This one is a little more raw. This one, on a scale, is less raw, but it's very challenging. It makes you a much better driver, and the more time I spend in either car makes me better at both. I really enjoy running two different cars. It stretches your brain, it forces you to think through. Brake points are different, turn-in points are different, all of the other things, and things happen at different speeds between the cars. So it makes it. I'm an engineer. It forces you to think through each of these. It's really a lot of fun. I enjoy it very much. We refer to him as the team owner, the team principal, or the boss. He's here at every one, and it'll take him a little while to give me all of the feedback, but this is one of these things that we get to talk about just about every day. I was able to podium in the Devin, and in the Mustang, I know I'm not going to be competitive with a Gen 3 Riley & Scott car. So to drive to the limit of the car, to learn from the pros, make sure that I'm worthy to be with them in the series. That's a good result. So I finished 6th in class. I finished 8th overall. The car came off the track in exactly the same shape as it went on the track. I think for the first time I've run that's the first time I've ever driven this car for 75 minutes. To do that and do it well, it says something about the preparation and the team behind us from the preparation standpoint, and it's really a successful weekend.